Jeffrey.
Jeff, thank you. Sorry. Too many names. It is part of, he lives in Florida on the West Coast. All of his pieces are usually flower, fauna, animal, different species that they talk about becoming extinct. This is the Florida panther that he's done up there. And for many, many years, it was thought that the Florida panther was going to leave us. It was on the endangered list. Well, the panther surprised everybody, and now they are killing panthers because many of them have become very domesticated. They come up to the houses, and they're causing a lot of trouble. But that is his panther, and it's bronze. And the patina on that, the color you see on it, if you get closer, is put in with the molten bronze so that the color is there in the piece. It's not going to change. Whereas some of these, as I mentioned to you, have not been treated at all, and they are changing with time.
How is it installed up there? That's
He's
fabulous.
just sitting there. He's just sitting there. We used to have him sitting on one of the walls over here.
But it's secure. Oh.
And this artist you may think looks like Henry Moore. It is not. The artist's name is Roger Holmes. I thank you.
You're welcome. I'm getting it from here.
Holmes. He is American. He was trained as a civil engineer. He's totally self-taught. Never had an art lesson at all. He looked at books. Obviously, he looked at books that included sculpture by Banksy, by Henry Moore, and people who worked in the figure in bronze, and that he was interested in as well. He is not dealing in the human condition idea like Annika is. He is really more interested in almost stop motion, where you catch somebody doing something and they are forever there. Some of his pieces, which you might want to look up, are of dancers and so forth, and you can almost see them moving on, but he has stopped them. And that is Mr. Holmes over there. And the piece sitting on the pedestal there is Sophie RYDER, R-Y-D-E-R. And I think that's the piece called Conversation. Thank you. And it is one of the pieces that brought her great fame. She won many awards with this piece of bronze. She started out as a jewelry maker. She does all of her things without drawing. She makes them in wire first. And many of them she left in wire. As she began to work more and more and more, by the way, she lives outside of London. She's married, she has 2 children. And she decided at that point, after a while of doing things in wire and so forth, that she would have them cast. They are cast in bronze. And they are, can you just walk over there? Because I don't think you can see what I want you to see.
Yeah. Coming back next year?
Yes. I'll be back in December. Sophie RYDER. She lives, as I said, outside of London now, married to, I believe a writer or an editor, somebody like that. And they have two girls. She grew up, father was a writer and mother was an artist, I believe. And they were kind of what we would call hippies, I guess. And they really did not rein her, and I just thought of that as a pun, but I don't mean it to be. They did not rein her in at all. When she decided, I think in 5th grade, that she wanted to just drop out of school, she did. She then lived with them, and until she was about 14 or 15, she never wore clothes. She was amazing. She has now also, one of her daughters has kind of followed in her footsteps and is a wild child as well. She's got, and you'll look it up, I'm sure, she has a head of hair that looks like a horse's tail, and it just flows all over. She's almost like a Rabelaisian woman when you think about the artist, the work. In any event, this is called conversation. Look at it. I want you to look at it.
She's got a grater in there.
What'd you say?
She's got a grater.
Yes, yes. She loves to cook. She is an artist that picks up things also on the floor, in the garbage, and decides whether or not, maybe, okay, I'll throw it in the sculpture. A lot of them don't have any other meaning at all, except that she found them and she thought they would work. She has one piece I had read about that she's got different film stills of Harry Potter that she's stuck in them. I haven't seen the piece, so I don't know about it. Take a look at the piece, and what do you see?
Conversation between the rabbit and the
Okay,
fox.
all right, there's a conversation going on between what you think is a rabbit and a fox. The hare and the fox. Does that bring anything to mind? Uncle Remus.
Brer rabbit.
Brer rabbit,
Exactly.
Brer fox. Yeah, right. They had to learn to get along together. The fox is a wily creature, cunning, devious. The hare is quick, very fast, not easily caught or domesticated. She got onto the idea of using hair when one day she walked into a farm somewhere. Please don't quote me correctly because I'm really just beginning to learn about all these new pieces. And she found a bunch of dead rabbits on the floor, and it impressed her. So the rabbit became something that she felt that she wanted to expand on. And most of her work has the figure of a rabbit in it. When you look outside, the big one in the front, those are two rabbits there, two hares. But come close. Look at them carefully, please. Very carefully. They are women with masks on. Look at the figures. Look at the bosom. They are female figures. She's kind of playing off the idea of a minotaur also, half horse, half man. She's got half woman, half animal. And they could be wearing masks, head masks. There could be a woman inside. One has the hare, the other has the fox. And she also is dealing, as I mentioned earlier to you, with the Bincale piece, with hair, the ears representing different hairstyles, And if you think about some of Picasso's erotic pieces again, there are animals, the Minotaur in that as well, and the hair and kind of scribbling drawing. So another interesting artist, Sophie Ryder. Started out with the jewelry, as I said, wire jewelry, and then decided that she was going to get bigger. Oh, the other thing is, she likes to work outside. Her pieces during the warm months are smaller. When she works inside, when it's too cold outside, she makes bigger pieces, which is very strange because you would think she would make the big ones outside, small ones inside,